Welcome, listeners, to Crossing Borders, a podcast not about immigration, believe it or not. I am your host, Josh, also known as Mythic, and this is my co host, Sid, also known as Squidney.
Hi.
Grab your passports and join us for episode 6, where we'll be talking about education across borders, part 2. If you haven't checked out what happened or what we talked about last time, make sure to check it out. It's, I think, on
episode 2 for those of you who don't know.
So, but first, let's catch up with each other's week. So, Sid, anything happening recently? Anything interesting?
No, but I did since we were talking about
No.
Since we're talking about education again.
All right.
I thought I would tell a story from the days long past. Ye olden days of elementary school.
Back in my day.
Back in my day.
Okay.
I'm not
okay.
that old. I'm just kidding. I don't know exactly what grade it was. Probably like 3rd or 4th grade, probably. But there's this kid in my class. I only remember 3 things about him.
Oh.
He was really like large. He wasn't like fat. He was just tall and had a huge shoe size. He was just bigger than most of the kids in class, you know.
Bigfoot, basically. Okay.
Yeah. 2, he was very religious. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but it was interesting sometimes. And 3, he was kind of annoying.
Oh, okay. Here's the juice of the story. Here we go.
So there's this one day during recess when we all go outside and goof off for like a half an hour so the teachers can finally catch a break and we can also like run out of energy. So hopefully we're just sweaty instead of loud the next time we go into class. And I was just outside, you know. This guy, I'm going to call him Calvin. That wasn't his name. I've never met anyone named Calvin, but that's a great name, so I'm going to just give it
All right. I'll take it.
He was standing there with like 3 or 4 other people who were also in my class, and they were talking about something, I don't know. He had in his hand a Bible, and this is relevant. So I walk up, because back then I was kind of the nomad kid. I didn't like hang out with any group of kids. I just hopped between groups of kids.
I thought you were like nomad, as in like an outcast. Okay, that was a different thing.
No, I just didn't have any like good friends. I just was everyone's friend, you know.
Okay.
Until middle school, then I found a friend group, and I didn't really realize that until not recently, but in high school I realized that, and I was like, wait a second.
Hold on a minute.
Interesting. But anyways, so I walk up, I said something like, "Hey, what's up?" And he's like, "Oh, hi," you know. And then right then, a wasp, a yellow jacket, like an inch-long wasp, flew in and landed on his Bible, which he was just holding out like that. And of course, there was like 2 girls who were like, "It's a wasp, oh, spooky!" And then the Calvin, he goes like, "Fear not." He didn't say this like word for word, but I'm just
okay.
Just, you know, making it a little more interesting. He's like, "Fear not, for if you do not scare it, it will not harm you." And he's like, "Peace." You know, like it's definitely a thing with insects. Like if you don't bother it, it won't bother you. Like bees.
Yeah. I know that.
I mean, I've had bees run into my head and then just fly off, but that's a different story.
Okay.
And then we're just chilling there. He has a wasp on his Bible, and then the wasp flies up and lands. Guess where?
His ours?
No, it lands on my face.
Oh.
And I'm like, I'm not scared of this thing. And it was like right on my chin. And it's just chilling there. And then the girls are freaking out even more. And I was kind of freaking out, but I'm like, I'm cool. You know, I'm not freaking out, but on the inside, I'm screaming. I'm like,
dying inside.
And then Calvin's, he essentially repeated that. He's like, "Don't worry, if you don't bother it, it won't bother you. You know, you'll be fine. Just relax, leave it alone." I'm like, yeah, we know. I'm in 4th grade. I'm a smart kid, okay? I'm a genius. Freaking brilliant.
Clearly.
Gonna be a famous YouTuber, 200 subscribers someday. I'll show you. No, just kidding. No,
but he did become a YouTuber with tons of subscribers. Let's go. Go subscribe.
I have a little bit over 200. So do you, but that's beside the point. Anyways, the wasp, it's just wandering around like my chin, jaw area, and my mouth is like clamped shut. You know, like as hard as I could. Like I
They wanted going in there.
I literally like curled my lips in and then bit my lips in place. Not enough to hurt, but enough to keep them in place.
Hmm.
I'm like, these aren't moving. These aren't. I'm not. It's not getting in. And then it walks up to the corner of my mouth, and I'm like, oh no, oh no. And then it
Oh.
tries to start pushing its way into my mouth. Like I'm not even kidding. It like started pushing at the corner of my lips, and it's like, let me in, let me in. I'm like, and so I spat it out, and then sprinted as fast as a fourth grader can across the playground away. I'm like, I'm not getting stung. I'm not getting stung. Uh,
Oh, the wolf's just like, get me in there. I want in.
let me in. Uh,
And then?
And then after I ran like across the entire field, turned around and immediately went right back. And I'm like, well, that happened. And they're like, yep, that happened. And that was it. Yeah.
Oh, I thought someone got stung. Oh man,
Oh, nobody got stung.
that's a boring
Shocking.
story. Just kidding.
Boring. Well, next time you
Um,
tell a story about cockroaches and it doesn't like fly in your ear or something, I'm gonna say it's boring. Okay.
oh, okay. just, just
I'm
kidding.
just kidding.
Anyways,
Speaking of which, what is your story for us today?
before I get into my story, you said something about if
Uh-huh.
there's it's a thing with insect. If you don't bother it, it won't bother you. That's not the thing with mosquitoes, mate. You don't bother them,
Oh yeah,
they
that's true.
bother you even more.
Mosquitoes are an entirely different category. Yeah.
Anyways, my story. I have two stories actually, which both of them I'll tell today.
Ooh.
The first one involves a cat. This is a sort of a sad story
Uh-oh.
because the cat didn't die. By the way, it's just a little accident.
Oh.
I was riding. I was, the passenger in a bike when I was riding home. It was a
Mhm.
sort of like an Uber, but our version here. And then
Yeah.
the driver stops, like, what's wrong? I'm like, oh, the cat's trying to cross the road. Like, okay, we'll wait for a little bit. And we waited, and the cat also waited for us. Okay, and then the driver was like, okay, let's. I guess the cat's letting us pass through forward. Then it's like, okay, yeah, that's a very kind
That's
cat.
a very polite cat.
Mm-hmm. And then we go forward, and the cat also moves forward. It's like, okay, let's stop. And then the cat also stops again. Okay, do you want to go, cat? Please go first. And then the cat was just like sitting there waiting for us to go. Like, huh? Okay. And so the driver's like, okay, I guess I'm just gonna move quickly. Like floor it, but with the handle, I guess. So can
Yeah.
quickly pass through the cat and can just pass the road or something. And
Mhm.
we didn't expect it to go in front
Do
of
the
the
exact same thing.
motorbike, so we kinda ran over the cat, sort of.
Oh, you monster.
I believe the cat was not harmed. I'm not quite sure, but I felt the hit as a passenger. I felt the poop, but the cat managed
You're like,
to
oh no.
escape. I was like, oh no, I feel so bad. What was that
The
about?
bump of
No,
regret.
but I think the cat does not have 9 lives, right? I think it just used one of its
Yeah.
totems upon dying, so we're good. I think.
Yeah, we're
Maybe.
fine.
We're
I
fine.
mean, it only got ran over by one motorbike with 2 people on it. So unless there were
Yeah.
more than 2 people.
No, there's just me and the driver. I think the cat was fine. Okay, that was this story. Not super the interesting type, but that literally happened yesterday. That's why it's still on my head.
Oh,
Yep.
well, mine didn't happen yesterday.
Yeah, well, it happened in 4th grade, so more than yesterday,
Ah.
one might say. And the second story is actually today. Today's very hot, as you can probably tell. Here in the equator, we have frequent burning summer. Even though we're technically in the raining season, according to weather forecast, we have a 51% chance of having a rain today. So that's pretty high.
Oh.
And also, the temperature is 34 degrees Celsius. Let's see, what is that in Fahrenheit? 34 C.
That's like
Fahrenheit.
108.
903.
I'm guessing.
Wait, 903. 93.
Not-
That's
wait.
903. I would have been dead.
Yeah. That's
93.
pretty
That's
toasty.
That's what I meant to say.
I mean, it feels like
903
903 sometimes in
Oh,
Indonesia,
yeah.
probably.
Mm-hmm. True. It's 93, but with the humidity we have right now, which is around 60 to 70%, it's a lot hotter than hotter than what it says on the weather forecast. And
Yeah.
I'm sitting here right now with an AC in my room. Oh, also we fixed the leak. It was no more leakings and there's no more aliens.
Yay!
So
Banish the aliens.
yeah, if
No space aliens in our ACs.
you guys don't know what I'm talking about or we're talking about, check out episode 1 if you haven't already.
Yeah, this is just
Yeah.
the episode to like call back all the previous episodes. Like, oh, episode 2 is part 1. Episode 1 has the alien joke. Then we're going to talk about last episode, which had the
Yeah,
AI.
yes. So that forces you guys to actually go back and listen to that episode. Yeah. So the aliens have been fixed, and the AC has been fixed. The alien has been terminated, and you know, I go out my room.
For now.
I open my bedroom door, and a gush of hot air from outside came in. I was like, oh,
that's out.
oh no. Outside's really hot.
Like, not going outside today.
If I opened I'm sitting next to my bedroom door. If I open this door right now, the AC coldness wouldn't be able to. I probably can't feel it because it's so hot.
Oh.
Like even though it's indoors, I'm indoors right now, obviously. But if I go outside, outside my bedroom, but it's still indoors. It feels like you're standing under the sun. No joke. I go outside my door. If I open this door right now, the heat is so intense that it feels like you're standing outside on the field, just getting hit by sunlight in the middle of the afternoon, or when you enter a car that's been sitting under the sun. It feels like that, but indoors, outside my bedroom right now. It's insane.
Like, this is supposed to be my escape from the pain.
Yeah, but apparently not. Pain comes here anyways.
My gosh.
Well, that's my story. Actually, there's one more thing. While we were trying to fix the AC, we blasted the AC at full capacity, right? Just to make sure that even if it's at full capacity, it does not leak anymore. And after we were finished repairing it and it wasn't leaking anymore, apparently a few mosquitoes that were inhabiting my room died out of coldness. It was too cold for them that they actually died. It was actually very, very cool to see. It was like, oh.
You see, where I live, the mosquitoes go hibernate every year during the fall, winter, and spring.
Well, yeah, the mosquitoes here aren't used to hibernating, so they're just like, we're gonna hang out
they
here.
Just die.
But it's kind of cold, isn't it, guys? Ooh.
Actually, I'm pretty sure most of the mosquitoes die here, but their children survive, so that's fun. We always have mosquitoes during the summer. And it's great.
I see.
Not a ton, though.
Oh, that's it about my story.
Definitely not as much as you. But sounds like a good time to transition to education
across border.
The main focus, of course.
So, do you want to start first? I think we left off last time at elementary, so I think we're entering middle school now.
We were at 6th grade, I believe, to be precise. Let's see.
Do you want to go first, or should I go first?
Middle school. I'll go first.
Okay.
Middle school. Let's see. So, in middle school.
Oh, by the way, did you go to a private middle school or a public middle school?
I went to a charter school, which is it's like it's sort of private, but also not like private, you know.
Okay, got you.
But anyways, let's see. 6th grade, or middle school in general. Middle school was the first time, since the last episode I talked about how the school system worked for elementary school. But middle school was the first time that I actually had different teachers for different subjects other than PE, Spanish, and music.
Yep, okay.
It still wasn't that many. There was just 2. So there was 2 6th grade teachers, since it was a pretty small school.
2 teachers? What?
Well, including the previous teachers. So instead of having the 4 teachers, we had 5. Ooh.
That's it?
But
okay, all right.
Yes. But essentially, how it worked was there was 2 6th grade classes, and each of us had our homeroom teacher, but we didn't call it that. That was just our teacher, quote unquote. And one of them would teach one subject, and we'd hop over to the other class, and we'd like switch for the other subject. So I had
it's like a moving class
math.
sort of thing, isn't it?
Yeah, sort of. So I had math class with the second teacher, and the first teacher I had social studies and language arts and stuff like that. Um, and then music with the music teacher, PE, like the same teachers as before with all those subjects.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Something interesting we did in sixth grade though. Sixth grade was the 1 year that was like that. The rest of them we moved after sixth grade. They constructed a new building and hired a bunch of teachers, not a ton, but a few more. And so the rest
Ooh.
of my middle school was every class is a different teacher.
Hold on a minute. So sixth grade is middle school?
Yeah, for me.
So you only had first grade until fifth grade for elementary school then?
Yep.
Huh. Interesting. Okay, that's okay. I'll tell mine after this. Continue.
Yeah. Some schools around here, fifth grade is also middle school.
Yeah. Also, by the way, good things from America. If everyone doesn't know, that's the whole gist of our
Yeah.
podcast. I'm from Indonesia, and we're going to discuss the difference between education over there and over here.
Yes, over there and over here.
Mm-hmm.
But no, so let's see, where was it going? Oh yeah. So my teacher, who I will call Mrs. Waffles, she's still one of the best teachers I've ever had. She was
Aww.
kind of obsessed with the Winnie the Pooh character Tigger. And so she had a bunch
Ooh,
of stuffed Tigger dolls all over her classroom,
I see. I
which was
see.
fun, and like posters and stuff. But that's a little side thing. Doesn't really matter. But one thing that she did every single year for her students in social studies is we talked about ancient Egypt and like learned about it in like histories. Um,
That's cool.
and something we got to do is we got to mummify a chicken.
Wait. I'm sorry. What? That came out of nowhere.
Yeah, we got to mummify a chicken.
Poor chicken. What happened?
So it wasn't like we just went to some farmer and was like, "I'm taking your chicken and mummifying it." And he's like, "No!" And we grab it by the neck, and it's like, and we just pull it to a classroom and like, we're gonna pull your brain out through your nose, or whatever the Egyptians did. Um,
What?
what we actually did was she went to the store and bought some like full chickens that were like, well, not like without the feathers and the head and stuff.
Okay.
For it was supposed to be for eating, but we mummified it. So we like applied all the preservatives, we like cleaned it out, we wrapped it, we gave it a name. I don't remember what ours was,
What
but
grade was it? Was this fifth
there were some
grade
clever ones.
or sixth grade?
Sixth grade.
Are you insane? Okay, come on, continue. I'm just quite shocked by this.
And if I remember correctly, we put it in like a shoebox, all preserved,
Oh,
and essentially
okay.
made like a little sarcophagus with a
Uh-huh.
mummified chicken inside. Uh, and this process took the course of like 3 months because we would have to go like, okay, today we're applying this chemical to preserve it, and then next week we come back and it's all like wrinkly and dry now, and then we apply this thing, and then we're gonna wrap it up in like 3 different layers of bandages. Uh, but yeah, that was one of the most interesting things that happened during the school or sixth grade at least.
Okay. Should I go with my seventh grade then? Because I did tell about my sixth grade last time.
Yeah, go ahead.
So the difference between American and Indonesian apparently is elementary we go to up to sixth grade, and then for middle school we go from 7 to 9.
Oh,
You see, so there's just a bit.
so ninth grade is middle school for you?
Yeah, it's not
Oh,
yet into high
interesting.
school.
Ninth grade is high school for us.
Yeah, ninth grade is still middle school for me. Okay, so on seventh grade, which is the first day of middle school for a lot of us, my school I went to was a sort of private school, but not really. Same like you.
Ooh,
Like people from other places have come here, but it's like 99% from the area where the school was built,
yeah.
and it was also owned by this billionaire who also built a lot of like residential places and basically a majority of area in Jakarta, which is the province, the capital of Indonesia. Like a major part of it was like quote unquote owned by his company. It was actually insane that I went to his quote unquote school. So yeah.
So this guy's literally just building a whole little city of his own. He's building
Yeah,
houses.
his own
building
empire
schools.
basically, like a widespread
awesome.
residential area with schools, hospitals, like clinics and all that. It was actually insane. Like I go to the school built by this guy. This is insane, like it wasn't like
And I can't even turn in my homework on time. What the heck?
it wasn't like crazy expensive or something. It was just like pretty
Yeah.
average for private schools, not owned by the government. And when we first went there, it's a whole different system, right? Because back in elementary, we just sat in one class, and the different teachers would come to us and teach us stuff.
Yeah.
And we're using the moving class system this time on seventh grade. So we would go to these different classrooms. Like this is the history classroom, that is the social studies classroom, that's the biology classroom, that's the physics lab and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it would like switch between stuff, and it was such a hassle because like the classrooms were the school was built like an L shape, right? So one side of the L is for the middle schoolers, and the other side of the L is for the high schoolers. So the L
we had a
that
similar
use-
thing going on.
Yeah, the L that we use, the side of the L that we use for the middle schoolers is split into 3 floors, and all the different classrooms are split between all those 3 floors. So sometimes we have to go up to the 3rd floor and back to the 1st floor and to the 2nd floor and 1st floor again and 3rd floor again. Like throughout the day, it's such a hassle. But yeah, well, that's what we had to do. We had a lot more lessons that you might think. We have, let's see here, Indonesian, which was obviously there must be math, English, history, social studies, physics, chemistry, biology, and then we have like sort of a religion thing, and then like a sort of a counseling, but not really. Like they teach you stuff about like, hey, how to be good to your friends, how to make friends and stuff like that. But it's not really prominent, I guess. And then
Okay, so like a life skills class.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's like a life skills class, and we have music, arts, and then computer, which are all a must to take, plus Mandarin. So that's 14 lessons.
Oh.
I don't know how many lessons. How many lessons did you have?
About 7.
7.
A
Yeah,
day?
we had 14 lessons. We had to pass all 14 to graduate, and we can only fail 2 subjects, I believe, which is a little 14. Man, come on. And out of these 14 lessons, each lesson has 1 teacher. So there was a lot more teacher. When you said 5, it's like 5's a bit little, no? Because we had 14 teachers, 1 for each. So 1 had their own each designated classroom, I guess. And then we had also like homeroom teachers, which are basically, for example, my homeroom teacher when I was in the 7th grade was my math teacher, who was, funny enough, also obsessed with the Winnie the Pooh character, but this time the bear, the yellow bear.
Oh, that would have been perfect.
Yeah, very interesting, isn't it? My math teacher was my homeroom teacher, so she would, take care of us and also like sign our journals and agendas at a time, just to prove like our attendance and stuff.
Yeah.
Back at homeroom, and the history teacher was the homeroom for the other class, and so on. We had 4 classes in total of 124 students, if I'm not wrong. I believe it was 124.
Okay.
Anyways. So each class had around 30 to 31 students in each class. And the first week of the middle school was there's this student body organization, right? In the school, and it's a tradition here in Indonesian where before it was changed and it was deemed too cruel for the higher ups to poke fun and also make the juniors suffer.
Fun.
By introducing to the school, but by making you suffer. One of my acquaintances, who was like above me by 1 year, experience that cruelty.
Mhm.
But luckily, when I stepped into middle school, the government had already, made that illegal. So I
Yeah.
was safe. I was super grateful.
You're like,
Like,
dodged the
whoo,
bullet with that one.
my. Yeah, because like I heard what happened last year from my acquaintance, and he said that
Mhm.
they cannot bring backpack to school. They had to bring a cardboard box to school for their bag,
Oh,
and the rope, or like the what's it called, the straps for it is
yeah.
a colorful string of three colors braided into each other, but you have to braid it yourself on the spot. Like, so you bring it with your hand, and on the spot you make your bag like right there, and you use that bag for 3 days, I believe.
Okay.
And then they had to eat like weird, sour, and disgusting food and stuff like that. It was insane. It was insane. But
That
it
is
was
really weird.
it was nothing compared to what my teacher told me when he first went into college. But I'll get to that later, because it's a whole other can of worms.
Yeah.
Our first week, I believe it was, we had to live in the school. No joke, we had to live in the school for 2 days, I
Oh,
believe. So 2 nights in the
that's
school.
weird.
It was not, man. The bathrooms are disgusting. So that's not a good time.
Yeah, that's a given in any school, I think.
Yeah. The first day, I did take a bath. Because there was like a lot of activities that involved sweating and all that. So it's not comfortable to. We did have to bring our own bed, by the way. So it's like some people brought like a foldable bed, and
Okay.
I just brought sort of like a blanket, like a thick blanket that I just used as a
Yeah.
bed, basically. I couldn't sleep. It was so hard. Yeah, but yeah, again, the boys were separate from the girls, and yeah, standard. And also,
Uh-huh.
after the second day, so after the first night passes, since the school was technically pretty new, right? I got the chance to use the bathroom that was still clean. By the second day, however,
Nice.
things were not
It wasn't
so
clean.
much the same anymore. And let's just say I had to endure 2 days without bath. It was just nope,
Ah.
unbearable, mate. I can't go in there. It was it was not good, not a good look. Yeah, maybe cramming
That's pretty gross.
120 students 24/7 in a school, it might not be the greatest idea. But anyways, I passed through that shenanigan of a thing to introduce us to the school, and yeah, we
Yeah.
learned lessons as per usual. And then we're like teach like, okay, so you don't, because back when I was elementary, we were like our moms and like people who work for us usually cook food at
Mhm.
home and then bring it to the school for us as elementaries to eat, right? But now
Yeah.
we have our own canteen at school, so it was exciting. The canteen actually sells a lot of stuff. Some were kind of overpriced,
Alright.
but it's fine. I'll buy this cheap stuff. And it was
Okay.
it was like a whole new experience. Like, yeah, middle school's pretty cool. I'm no longer one of those kids playing in the background. Yeah, this is cool. This is cool. And I believe that's about it in grade 7. Although I did, again, if you guys didn't listen my story in episode 2, I went into a math support in grade 5, and I did it again this year on the not this year, but that year on the when I was grade 7, because my math grades were just off a cliff,
Perfect.
down, and then skydive it goes. So yeah, I joined a math support again, just trying to keep my grades up, and that's about it for grade 7,
Yeah.
I think.
So you lived at the school for 2 days to learn the layout of the school.
I believe so. Yeah, I think that's the whole goal, and also for them to give us suffering, I guess.
That is so weird.
Yeah.
When I was in middle school, we had these things we called them socials. Essentially, it was just a party thrown by the school, and uh, you had to like pay to go, I think, obviously,
Uh-huh,
and you just
uh-huh.
showed up, listen to music, and have a couple snacks, and then sleep over. But that's like the closest thing that we ever got to living at the school. For us, what they did to orient us with the school is they just dropped us in on the first day, and they were like, "Good luck," and then
And
and
just
then we
like
had to
that,
find our
just
way through our
okay. Good
classes.
luck. Bye bye.
Yeah, actually, come to think of it, before each school year started, they have a teacher orientation day, or
Uh,
I don't remember what it's called, but essentially you go to the school essentially anytime you want, and you can go around looking for where your classes are and meeting your teachers before the school year starts. So
uh,
we use that to find our classes, and then
you know,
use advanced math to calculate the shortest distance between class, so we could sprint there. No, just kidding. We never did that because we were
uh,
all dumb.
that sounds a
Uh,
lot nicer than what I had to go through. But yeah.
yeah. My freshman year of high school, so ninth grade, we did have a freshman orientation day, which was like the week before school started, and
Mm,
essentially you just talk about like, oh, welcome to high school, you kiddos. Oh, you're not in middle school anymore. We're not in Kansas anymore, Toto,
wait,
kind of
wait.
thing, you know?
Middle school or high school? Wait, I thought you said high school.
Yeah, yeah, uh, like a week before our freshman year of high school starts, we would have a
Oh,
freshman
so
orientation
you're
day.
skipping past middle school now, right?
Yeah, well, I was just bringing that up now. I'll talk
Oh,
about middle
okay.
school in a second more,
All
but
right, right, all right.
yeah, that's an interesting. I'll talk about it later when we talk about high school, but let's see what else happened during middle school. Middle school was the only art class I ever took, I guess. I didn't learn anything in that class because I'm a decent artist, and I've been a decent artist before and after that. So I
Teacher,
mean, I
I have
guess
a
that works.
question. Was there
Why am
was
I
there
here?
was there any love interest while you were in middle school? Ooh, spicy.
Uh, Not really. There was this. I was friends with this one girl who I will call Rachel. That's not her actual name, but I'll call her that.
Okay,
Uh,
okay,
it was
okay.
kind of like a. We were friends, but it was kind of like we both were like, "Ooh, hey, hey," you know.
Yeah, all right. I
And I
see, I
did find
see.
out later when I was in high school. In high school, I went to a different school than I went to before.
Mm-hmm.
In high school, it was a public school, and she stayed at the school, but we still live near each other, so we've stayed in touch. She goes to the same church as me, so
Ah, I see, I
that
see.
helps.
So,
And
did you find out that she
uh,
was actually into you, or?
I did in high school. We found I don't know how it came up, but we were like talking about middle school. We're like, oh, the good old days, you know. And then I don't remember how it come up, but it turns out that at the time that I had a crush on her, she also had a crush on me. So
Oh wow.
you know,
Sadly, nobody came up with their feelings. That's sad.
yeah, it's fine. It's
It's
fine.
fine. It was the middle school. It's fine.
I was so lonely. But no, I did have a
Oh,
crush on her for a while.
uh,
Let's see. Anything else about middle school?
I
Oh, I
remember. I
do have this one
remember
story.
Rachel from
Yeah,
last episode. I wonder who that is.
yeah. I mean, it's fairly close to her actual name. It's just the only name I could think of.
Okay. All right.
Uh,
All right. My
but
eighth
I do have.
grade. Oh yes.
Oh, oh, you can
Go
go.
on. Oh, you were about to say something. What was
Okay.
it?
Okay. Well, I do have a story from middle school. I don't remember if it was seventh or eighth grade, but in
Okay.
seventh
Okay.
and eighth grade, we moved to the new building. So I do know what happened in that building. So I know it was one of those 2 years.
Here we go. Here we go.
I had this kid in my class. His name was Nicholas, also a fake name that's close to his real name, but
Mm-hmm.
um, it's actually not that close, come to think of it. But the point is, he was like that kind of weird kid, but that was also a cool kid.
Ah.
Um,
Every school has that
Somehow, he
guy.
had really long, curly blonde hair. Uh,
Whoa. Okay.
so that was interesting. But one day, it was funny. I had this friend named Taylor,
Mm-hmm.
also a fake name. Just assume everything's a fake name unless it's me.
Yes.
And he was a pretty close friend. And one day, I don't know why Nicholas did this, but he took a can of Axe body spray. You know the stuff, the
I know that stuff. Yeah.
yeah, and he sprayed the whole can, like emptied the entire can
Oh
into
my!
Taylor's
What?
backpack.
No. Oh, that
And
smell is
it
gonna
was
stay there for ages.
it was in the hall for you could smell it pretty strong in the hall for a couple days, and then it lingered for like a month after that.
Oh my
Uh,
god.
and it was right outside of my English teacher's classroom,
Oh
so that
no.
was fun. And also Taylor was not all too happy about that.
Well, clearly,
Uh,
a full can. Insane.
yeah, good old days.
Good old days.
Uh, so what were you gonna say?
My eighth grade was sort of interesting, I guess I might say. Still in the same
Yeah.
school, obviously, and then um, two students did not make it past, so they went out of school, which is kind
Uh-huh.
of sad. But both of those
It
people I
happens.
actually was not close. I didn't even was a well acquaintance with, so didn't really
All
affect
right.
me too much. And there was I was a friend with this girl was we'll call Rachel. Just Rachel's
Uh,
everywhere. We'll call Rachel. That's not
copycat.
her real name, obviously. And we were friends actually since I was in elementary grade 5. So we're
Since you were a
longtime
wee lad.
friends. We were longtime friends, and she had feelings for me, but unfortunately, at the time, it did not reflect with me. So, I rejected her, and that span in that was a might be a bad decision on my end, but it happened to be I chose the choice that led me to the bad ending of that story. So
Oh yeah.
let's just say love turned to hate, and a lot of shenanigans happened. And
Oh no.
yep, yeah, sometimes I found I'm pretty early kind of guy, so I come to school pretty early, and
Yes.
I found once that the whiteboard was sprinkled with insult words with my name on it. So yeah, that was not a great time in grade 8. It was pretty
Things like
awkward after.
Josh is such a handsome. Ooh, and Josh is a cutie. All the girls love Josh.
Yeah, all the
Things like
2D
that,
girls
right?
love me. Let's go.
Yeah.
And yeah, after that point on in grade 8, it was not a great time.
All right.
But let's skip past over grade. Let's bury the bad memories in the past. And
I
grade 5.
actually never had to. I never had to reject anyone in school,
I see.
mostly because none of the girls who liked me ever went past liking me. There are two in
Oh,
middle school that I know of,
I see. I see.
or at least one that I know of, and one I'm highly suspicious of.
Highly
Um,
suspicious.
looking back, back
uh,
then I just thought she was weird, but looking back,
okay.
I'm like, hang on a second.
Hang on a
Um,
second. Hold on a minute.
but there's this one girl. I'm gonna call her Joanne.
Okay.
Um, who was kind of awkward and kind of weird. She was also pretty annoying.
Ooh.
So
Ooh.
that didn't help.
Joanne, whoever you're referencing, if you're listening to this podcast right now, ooh, that must hurt. I'm sorry, man.
I'm sorry, Joanne. You probably have no
Joanne.
idea who I am. But I remember this one specific time. I was in a robotics club,
Ooh.
which I loved and also hated. But I can talk about that later. And I'm pretty sure she was also in it. But
Ah.
we were in the library or actually no, it was we had a little robotics lab room, but it wasn't called
Okay.
that. I don't
Okay.
remember what it was called, but we were in there. It was Lego robotics too, so it wasn't even real robotics because we were middle
Lego
school.
robotics. Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they had like a bunch of bins on the wall, like organized with Legos and stuff. And I remember she made this really weird face. I would make it, but she kind of did like a kind of weird Grinch smile.
A
And I
Grinch.
think
That's scary.
I think she was trying to be like, hey, Sid, ooh, maybe,
I think that sent the
um,
wrong message to
because she
you.
did kind of talk to that like me, not like saying that, but she's like, hey, Sid. No, she didn't make those sounds, but I can't show you the face, obviously,
Uh,
so I have to
yeah.
make
Okay.
sounds that equate to the face. It was just very interesting. Back then, I was just like, okay, uh,
Hi.
hi.
I guess.
Looking back though, I'm like, I think she had a crush on me, but she was just not sure how to be
Approach. How to
romantic.
convey the feelings. One might say.
Yeah.
Yep. I see.
So yeah, that's a fun story.
I can see that happening. Yeah, and when I was grade 8, I also had a crush at the time, but we'll not talk about that because I was so cringy. Anyways, grade 9. Let's skip past over that.
Ooh.
Grade 9. I had the best opportunity to get the best English teacher I can possibly hope to get.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. This teacher was scary, mind you. She was
Ooh.
almost at the level of my 4th grade killer teacher, if you remember my story from episode 2.
Oh.
Almost at that level, but
Uh-oh.
not at that level. She was scary, but she was scary not for just being ripping paper off and it. No, she was scary, but in a good way. You know, a sort of a teaching kind of scary. Yeah. So I
see.
I really respect that, and ever since we were grade 8, and hearing from the is it called sophomore or is it called seniors? I can't remember. Is it the last grade?
Last grade is seniors in here, or in here, over here.
Yeah, at that time I was sophomore then. So my seniors, like I keep hearing from the seniors like, oh, this English teacher now is scary. You're all gonna regret going up 1 grade or something like that. And we were like, oh no, this teacher is scary, boohoo, boohoo. And we grade 9. Here we go. English teacher. First day, I believe it was first day. First day of school, last period, English. And I'm shaking. I'm terrified. I was like, oh no, what's this teacher gonna look like? How scary is she? And
having flashbacks.
Yeah, having flashbacks like, oh, grade 4. Oh no, trauma, no. And yeah, it was like sort of quote unquote orientation, but not really. It was just like, hey, so what's your name? How long? Where do you live? And all that stuff. Just getting to know each other with the teacher. And she taught us, and it's pretty good. I like her style of teaching. And then at the end, she gave us a project. First day of school, that is. First day of school, a project instantly. And she was like, okay, we're gonna make a presentation. And at the time, do you know Prezi?
Yes, I do.
That was at the time like the most advanced PowerPoint program I've ever known of. So she suddenly...
I remember that too.
She came out of nowhere like...
all the cool kids use Prezi.
Okay, we're going to make a presentation out of Prezi. And I'm going to pick the first 3 students who's going to get 3 random topics to present the thing by the end of the week.
Oh.
So we did not have a lot of time. So 3 students as an example. And that was first day of school, by the way. So I was like, holy, okay, hopefully I don't get picked. I get picked as the first guy to ever go. I'm like, no, please, forgive me. Please choose someone else.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I remember being super shocked that day. First student with the topic of, I remember it was food, like sort of about food portions, I believe. Okay, the first student to do a presentation about portions of food is Josh. And I'm like, no, why?
No.
So I got picked, and then she briefed the 3 of us who got picked.
Yeah.
Privately, by the way. So the other students didn't know like what they had to do. I think that's sort of like the first test, I guess, from the teacher. And I was like, oh no, am I able to do this? Will I survive? And I remember at the time,
am I gonna die?
I literally went home, watched tutorials because I was so afraid of failing. Right? Okay. First day of school, I can't already fail in the first English like sort of assignment. That's gonna be embarrassing, right?
I can't do this.
So I went tutorial up on YouTube and I learned how to use Prezi and stuff like that, and then made my presentation. And then on the D-Day, I believe it was Thursday. Yeah. So from if the first day of school was Monday, that was like, so we had sort of 3 days of time to make, right? All right, Thursday. Here we go. First guy to go on front and present to this scary teacher from what we've heard. And she was when she was in the scoring mode, she looks terrifying, mate. She's like a death glare on her table. Like,
you get a 4.85.
Go ahead. She was very critical at scoring, by the way. And I was like, okay, I've practiced this overnight. I can do this. I was like, okay. I presented the stuff, used cool effects with the Prezi stuff, and then okay, the score was going to be announced next week. After I got it over, it was like, whoa, I can finally let out a big sigh and be relaxed finally after that stressful assignment. The next week,
Then she comes up to you and she's like, "Hey, you want to do a part 2?" You're like,
oh, please.
"A sequel?"
Here, our scores were not like announced in class or like we're given a paper of like our score or something. It was literally displayed on the school's board. Like everyone in our school can see that. I was like, no, she did not just do that. Oh no. What are the juniors gonna think of me? What are the freshmen gonna think of me? Like sort of like that, right? And,
no.
And I was like, okay. It was like displayed for a few days, and on the first day it was displayed. All of us from my classroom rushed over to the billboard and looked at, how much did I get? And I was so shocked. I got a perfect 100. I was so happy that day. It was like I sort of can't believe it almost because after I was finished with my presentation, the few students after me got a couple of like criticism like on the day of their presentation. When I did not, she didn't say anything to me, right? Not even a praise or anything. Like some students were praised, some students were giving criticism, but she said nothing when I did my presentation. So I was like, very sweaty, very scared of what was.
She's
what
so disappointed she didn't even speak.
I thought that was the case, but when I saw my score was perfect 100, it was like,
she was in shock. She didn't know what to say. She's like, I didn't know someone named Josh could put on such a good presentation.
Oh man, the grind of the tutorials was worth it. Yeah.
I have a similar story, but in some ways the complete opposite.
Oh no. Okay, I'm intrigued.
So, in high school, I don't remember exactly what year it is, but I could easily figure it out because I remember that was the week that COVID started getting crazy.
Oh.
We had a book report due. Yeah, I remember it because I would say like, this week's crazy. Like, there's no toilet paper in the stores. I have a book report that's due tomorrow that I haven't even started reading the book yet. And Mount Everest is closed. Yeah, it was great.
Before you continue your story, by the way, I think talking about COVID and also toilet paper might be interesting as a topic. Okay, I'm just saying.
Episode idea.
You put that in because where I live we don't really use toilet paper, so that might be an interesting topic to discuss.
Okay.
Just saying.
COVID and TP.
And TP. Yep.
All right. Sweet. I wrote it down on the list. Anyways, so yes. So we had a book report due in English class. And this my teacher wasn't like super strict or anything, just average strictness, But my issue is I didn't know which book to read, and 2 didn't want to read a book for the book report because I like reading, but I don't like reading for book reports.
Agreed.
It's super fun until you have to do it, and then you don't want to do it,
Yep.
That kind of thing. But anyways, so it was growing close to the deadline, as in like it was due tomorrow, and I had not picked nor started reading a book. And you were supposed to read the whole book and write a whole report on it.
Oh no!
And so I was like, I got this. I popped my fingers, picked a book I had never read. To be more specific, it was the Silmarillion, which is like the Lord of the Rings lore, like the origin story of the universe for the Lord of the Rings. And I was pretty sure the teacher hadn't read it either, so that was also a good point. And since I like Lord of the Rings, I know quite a bit about Lord of the Rings. I'm not like a huge nerd, but I know a decent amount. And so I knew a bunch of plot points in the Silmarillion. So what I did was I picked the Silmarillion. I had tried to read it like 3 times before then, and I got so bored because it reads like a history book, and I still haven't read it, and it's on my shelf right now.
Oh no!
But what I did is I picked it and then just wrote the book report without reading it. I'm like, the Silmarillion is written by, Jolkin, Rolkin, Rolkin, Tolkien. And that's not his actual name, but
Yeah,
I'd
I
like
can
to think it
tell.
is. J.R.R. Tolkien, Grandpa Tolkien, whatever. And I wrote the whole book report, turned it in the next day, and I got a 100% on it.
Oh, what? Oh,
Yeah,
how did that happen? What? Huh?
I'm just so good.
My fourth grade story about a book report caused me in trauma. How did it end so good for you?
That's a good question. I am notorious for not studying for tests. For example, there's this other time it was also in high school, but like early in high school in chemistry. So sophomore year. Um we had a chemistry test and I didn't study at all and I didn't get chemistry like at all.
Mm,
And we went and took the test. I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing. Generally, I knew some of the stuff because I'm kind of sciencey. I'm Sid the science kid after all. But
mm-hmm.
I took the test, turned it in, whatever. And then when we got our test back, because they hand them back with the grade on them, and you look at them and go, like, "Oh my goodness, I got an F minus somehow."
Yeah,
I
yeah.
got like
Mm-hmm.
an A. I got an A. It wasn't perfect score, but it was like a
Yeah, unfortunate.
93
Oh,
or something
93 is
like that.
pretty
It was
good.
good. I had the highest score in the class, aside from one person, who had the exact same score as me, who also didn't study.
Oh, that's kind of sus. Hmm.
And we didn't cheat or anything because we both had no idea what we were doing, and everyone else studied, and everyone else got worse scores than us. And my friend was so mad at me. She's like, "How did you? What?" And I'm like, "That's just the way I flow."
That's just the skills, mate. Just the skills.
Yeah,
Anyways, my I sort of had a similar story in grade nine. So
yeah,
if you, I forgot if I've told this before, but when I was in elementary,
yeah.
I had the sort of like national exam. Did you remember
Oh yeah,
the extra exam we had to do apart from the school's exam? That
yeah,
they
yeah. We
repeated
also
that
had
for
regulated
middle school.
exams.
So apart from the school exam we had to do, which was already 14 lessons, by the way, there's another national exam. But this time,
That's a lot of tests.
I know the science was combined. So physics, biology, and chemistry was combined, and then we had English, Indonesian as usual, and math. So
Yeah,
technically four subjects, but it's more to around six subjects because there's science was actually split to three, but it was combined into one for that test. And it was actually I at the time I was binge watching an anime. Right, I just
as
got
one
into
does.
I just got into Naruto because as a kid
Ooh.
I watched Naruto on TV, but it's never like the complete beginning to end, right? And at the time I was like, okay,
Yeah, you missed
I
tons of
want to
stuff.
watch from beginning to end, but it was so badly timed because when I was like in the cool parts and the parts where you would just want to keep next episode, um, my exams were there. So I was like, oh
Yeah.
no, how am I supposed to do this and stuff, right? And then I remember I would watch Naruto because every episode was like what 20 minutes, and Naruto has 500 episodes,
Yeah.
I believe, plus the additional 200
That's a lot.
episodes. Yeah, the additional 200 episodes of Naruto Shippuden, or the other way around. I forgot which one is 500 and which one is 200. But I watched the whole thing, 1 to 700 episodes, the whole thing, throughout that I think span of 3 to 4 months.
Wow.
It was actually I don't know what came over me, but I was just like, okay, I want to finish this. I
That
had exams, but I
that
don't
is
care.
impressive.
I know. In the middle of it, the exams came. I remember not studying, so I watched
Yeah.
the episodes from like way in the morning because we had like breaks, right? And we get to go home from school earlier to have time to study. So I would, after I go from
Yeah.
school or like in the morning, I would basically just watch Naruto until sort of like 7 p.m. at night, and then I would
Yeah.
quote unquote study It's more of like me just reading through the stuff that.
Yeah.
But then I got tired because I've been watching all day, so it's just around about maybe 30 minutes of study. So I was like, okay, back to watching. So I watched Naruto again until around 10 p.m. After which I fell asleep, and the next morning is the exam. So basically, no study at all, and I still remember the score till now because it's the highest scores I've ever reached without studying. It's absolutely insane. So for all four
all because
subjects,
of Naruto.
all because of Naruto, all four of the exams, I absolutely completed. It was all such good scores, and my sibling, who went to the same school but already graduated, was so angry at me. He was like, how did you get such high scores? That's impossible. You didn't study. I saw you not studying. So,
That's
my
hilarious.
Indonesian score was 98.
Ooh.
My science score was 97.5. My
Oh, wow.
math score was 95. And then my English score was 98.
Dang. Straight A's. Let's go.
So everything was just like wrong one question or two questions. That's it. It's actually insane. I was like, is this real? Am I dreaming? I'm not dreaming, so it's got to be real. How did I reach? Even I didn't believe it myself. Like, is this real? Am I getting this?
Maybe I am a robot.
Maybe I am a smart boy. And my friend who studied, I know he studied hard because he kept like, when I was watching Naruto, I keep getting notifications from him like, hey, do you know how to answer this? Like, that means like I know he studies. And I was just like, mute chat, continue watching.
Okay, whatever.
He's like, how did you get high scores? That doesn't make any sense. I'm like, yeah,
that is like actually hilarious.
Maybe you have, I was like, maybe you have some skill issues or something. I don't know.
Just get better. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Peasant.
how hard
That's
can
what you
it
should
be? One
yeah,
more
loser getting low scores.
Yeah, and studying.
No friend of mine.
No.
No, I'm just kidding.
I remember, yeah, me too. And I remember at the time, before the exams at least, the same English teacher, by the way. So
Yeah.
a lot of the fun of grade 9 is because of this English teacher.
Yeah.
She made a project for the whole class.
Ooh.
So we're separated in 4 classes, right? And
Yeah.
I remember when graduating from grade 8 to grade 9, another 4 students didn't pass the grades and, left the school. But the rest of us, for our final exams, so, remember I tell you about the school exam and the national exam? The school exam for English was this project. So she, 4 classes to have 4 dramas, right? 1 drama for each class. And, some got Romeo and Juliet, some got, I forgot, what was it? Like some classic dramas and stuff like that.
Oh, my
And then my class... my class got Oliver Twist. You know Oliver Twist?
Yeah, I do. That's pretty sad. I'm so sorry. Why did you guys have to play it out?
Yeah,
Please tell me you guys acted it out.
We have to act. We have to make a sort of script. I remember it was like a 20-page script. We had to make a script and then submit the script to the English teacher for her to approve it, and then she'll let us continue with the phase 2 of the project, which is making the set design, practicing the stuff.
You guys had to make a set? Wow.
Yeah, we were dedicated. I don't know what came over us, but we were dedicated.
Dang.
We collected our money together and built a set, stuff like that. Because the exam was going to be shown on like the school's like open house, so people can come and watch, and the parents can record and stuff like that. That's why it was like so serious at the time.
Wow, impressive.
You see, when our class got the drama of Oliver Twist, no one, and I mean no one, none of the boys wanted to play the role of Oliver. No one, because main character, gonna have to memorize a lot of dialogues, right?
That is true.
20 pages back to back of full script.
Wow,
it was actually insane. I don't know how I survived that, but I survived.
Oh, congratulations.
What
part did you play?
Hold on a minute. I'll get to that.
Okay.
So since
Tell me now.
none of the
I'm just
boys
kidding.
wanted to play as Oliver,
Yeah.
we had to alternate the script, including me, because Oliver, such a drag. Why should I play Oliver? I didn't volunteer to play Oliver.
Yeah. You should play the rich guy who's like, "Hey peasants, you get half of a pint of oatmeal for your day."
Oh no! I played one of the fun guys, but not that guy.
Ah.
What it was like it was not like the whole. I believe there's like a movie for Oliver Twist, right? I remember watching the movies
Yeah.
for like reference at the time, and we didn't like just copy and paste the whole movie. We had to cut stuff down because even 20 page was not the whole movie. We had
Yeah.
to cut a lot of stuff out.
20 pages is definitely not a whole movie.
Yeah, and so we had to cut a lot of stuff down. But I remember the thing with finally a girl had to play the role of Oliver, right? So we changed the drama into Olivia Twist.
Yeah.
That's the main
I feel
character.
like I've seen something like that before too.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny.
So yeah, Olivia Twist was played by my friend, who I will call let's say
Olivia.
Olivia. Yeah, we'll call her Olivia. It's not her real name, obviously. And she was actually pretty dedicated to the role. I was so surprised when she could memorize all of the dialogues, which was so long, by the way, 1 to 20. It was like insane.
Yeah, that's a lot to memorize.
I got to play a character named Fagin. Do you know Fagin?
No. I'm not that familiar with the
Fagin is the old guy who teaches take care
Yeah.
of the kids who became pickpockets.
Oh, that guy.
Yes.
Fun.
He was an old man with a beard, with a top hat and a cane. So I got to play
really fun to play.
I got to play the fun character. Yeah. The one annoying part about this whole project, right,
Yeah.
was the costumes. Some people got to
Oh,
wear
did you have to grow out a beard?
easy. No. I of course I'm gonna buy a fake beard, right? I bought a fake beard.
Yeah.
I made the top hat by myself. Because buying a top hat is expensive,
Oh.
so I made it out of cardboard.
Yeah, top hats aren't
I
cheap.
forgot how I did it, but the top hat was amazing. I still have the photo of our group or drama group at the time, but of course can't show it. Anyways,
Yeah, it's a podcast.
I had the cane was from a PVC pipe that we painted black with a spray paint, and then the edge of the cane
Very
was a
fancy.
ping pong ball, so it looks like a diamond on top,
Oh, like the fancy thing.
Yeah.
I see.
And then the costume for me, apart from that, was also the beard. And then you see, we had a lot of AC in the auditorium, right? But
Yeah.
when you're in that costume, you can't feel the AC. It's so hot, man. I had to wear
Yeah.
full suit as well, long sleeves, long
Oh, yeah.
pants. Oh, it was so hot. And then here's the problem: at the D-Day, we didn't have enough mic, so I had no mic. I had to literally,
So you're just yelling dark. Hey!
I had to literally shout throughout my whole play.
Make sure you guys are really sneaky about this pickpocketing.
While shouting, my part was,
Be really subtle.
I believe my part was around page 9 until page 16, so
Mhm.
not too long, but pretty long.
That's still pretty long, yeah.
Yeah, and I forgot how I remembered all of the lines, but there was a lot of lines. I was on video as well. I believe my teacher recorded my part when I was playing it, and when I look back at it, I did great, man. I was so proud of that. I did so great. And yeah, our class did great, and there was a little bit of a conspiracy. So a lot of us submitted
Ooh.
around 10,000 IDR for the set money, right?
Yeah.
So 30 times 10,000 was like around 300,000 IDR, which is quite a lot in terms of money for a middle
Yeah.
schooler. So we expected,
That's true.
yeah, we trusted the set designers who were trusted in our class to make a good set, right? First of all, the set was
Yeah.
not good, and second of all, most of them ended up not being used while on the play. It was weird, and
Rip.
and then I think instead of returning the leftover monies, right? I think they bought Kentucky Fried Chicken
Ooh.
for like celebration, but didn't invite all of the members of the people who were involved in the play. So it was such a weird time. But yeah, me and my friends who were not invited, we were like,
That's interesting.
well, screw this. Well, what was that about? That's our money, man.
I was the best actor. What the
Yeah,
heck?
yeah, what? And then there was like some drama with some students angry with each other. Like you should have played this role better. Then why not you play it? And so yeah, there was some drama, but overall it went great,
fun.
and we got good scores, and that's the most important part. And
That is.
yeah.
Well, guess what?
Oh,
I was in a musical in high school.
ooh.
But we will have to save it for a part 3 because
Wait, what time is it? How long is it? Whoa! Okay, enough time. Enough time.
the same thing happened last episode.
Education is
But-
fun, man. I mean, like talking about school
Yeah.
is fun.
Yeah,
I think we have to save it for part 3 as well, because I have
definitely.
a rant about how education systems work later on in part 3.
Well, thank you, listeners, for dropping by to listen to this episode of Crossing Borders. This has been Sid and Josh. And don't forget to grab your passports on your way out, and we hope to see you next time. Also, make sure to watch out for part 3 of this education thing. We're going to be talking about high school, maybe college if we get to that. Oh, who knows? Or university, or getting
Or we
there.
get off track and run out of time again and go for part 4.
Part four.
Who knows? Who knows?
But yeah, make sure you guys leave a subscribe or a follow. Tell your friends about Crossing Borders. Bye.
Bye-bye.